The passenger door slammed open without warning. A girl, barefoot, bleeding, eyes wide with terror, threw herself into the cab. "Go! Drive! Please!" Myles had a pistol under the seat and his foot on the brake. He didn't move. I said, "Drive!" "He's coming! He's got a gun!" She smelled like gasoline and fear. Her hoodie was soaked in something dark. Myles stared at her, instinct locking every muscle. Then he saw the man outside, just a blur in the rear view, sprinting through the shadows of the truck stop, something metallic in his hand. Myles threw the rig into gear. Tires screamed. The 18-wheeler surged into the night. No one said anything for the first mile. Then, "Thank you," she gasped, collapsing against the seat. Her hands trembled, blood on her palms. Myles kept his eyes on the road. "You got 10 seconds to tell me what the hell that was." She didn't answer, just cried. He exhaled hard through his nose. Counted to 10. And again. Back in Baghdad, that had worked. Back when roadside bombs didn't give a damn about emotions. Finally. "He was my stepdad," she said. He kept me locked in the garage. Said he was protecting me." Myles stared straight. Ahead. "From what?" She didn't answer. "Before we continue, comment below. Which city you're from? You hurt bad?" She nodded, wiping her nose. "Just bruises. And a cut, I think." Myles flicked on the dome light. Her right side was soaked through. Red. He killed the light. "What's your name?" "Lacey." "Lacey what?" "Just Lacey." He grunted. He didn't like half answers. They drove for hours. Through Mississippi pine and Alabama flatland. Truck stops blurred by. She slept curled like a kicked dog in the passenger seat. At dawn, Myles pulled into a rest area and left the engine idling. He walked into the bathroom, splashed water on his face. When he came back, she was sitting up, watching the TV mounted. Above the vending machines, the news ticker crawled. "Teen suspect wanted for murder of off-duty police officer, armed, dangerous." The photo came next. A mugshot, dirty blonde hair, hollow eyes. Lacey. He stopped mid-step, looked at her. She didn't look away. "It's not what it looks like." Myles said nothing. He wasn't just a cop. He was sick. He kept a gun under his pillow. Myles looked at the screen, looked at her, then turned and walked back to the truck. She followed, silent. He started the engine. "You're not gonna dump me?" He glanced at her. "Should I?" She didn't answer. He put the truck in gear. "You get one chance," he said, voice cold. "Lie to me again. I'll hand you over myself." She nodded, staring out the window. Behind them, the highway stretched wide and empty, like a road through hell. "Where we headed?" she asked, her voice scratchy from sleep and fear. "Doesn't matter. Just away." "I gotta get to Texas. You going? That way?" Myles tapped the wheel, thinking. "Eventually. But I ain't a taxi." "I get it," she murmured. "You didn't ask for this." "No, I didn't." A long pause. "Why'd you help me then?" He didn't answer right away. "Something in your face." "Panic's real. Can't fake that." She looked down. "That's what I was banking on." He turned sharply to her. "Excuse me? I mean, I didn't fake it, but I knew someone had to help. You were the first one who looked me in the eye." Myles gritted his teeth. He didn't like being manipulated, but she wasn't lying, not entirely. "You ever used a gun?" he asked suddenly. "Once. That night." "You know how to load one? Safety off? Jam check? Slide?" She shook her head. He nodded to the glove box. "There's a cig inside, just in case. You'll touch it only if I tell you. Understood?" Her voice caught. Understood. They rode in silence. Alabama rolled by in dusty stretches. Gas stations, motels, endless horizon. Hours passed. Then, flashing lights in the mirror, "Shit," Myles muttered. He pulled over, heart thumping, reflexes tight. He watched the officer approach, a young deputy, calm, hand near his holster. "Morning, sir. Just a routine check. We've had a bolo on a vehicle matching this description." "That's so," Myles said evenly. "You mind stepping out?" "What for?" "Just a quick look, sir." Lacey was pale beside him. Myles climbed out slow. "You alone in there?" the deputy asked. "No. My niece. Sleeping. Long haul from Georgia." The deputy's eyes flicked to the window. "Mind if I check?" "Sure." Inside, Lacey slumped low, eyes shut. Myles watched from the side as the deputy opened the door, peered in, then nodded. "All right, you're good. Drive safe." "Will do." Back on the highway, Lacey sat up. "Jesus, I thought he'd—" "Don't talk." Silence stretched thick. Finally, Myles spoke. "Next time you lie still. You breathe soft. You let me do the talking." "Yes, sir." He didn't smile. They crossed into Mississippi by nightfall. He pulled off near Biloxi, parked behind an old trucker bar. Inside, Myles grabbed 2 coffees and sat opposite her at a cracked vinyl booth. "You sure you want to keep running?" "You think I have a choice?" He sipped, bitter. "Always a choice." She looked at him, eyes harder than before. "You ever kill anyone?" He met her stare. "Yes." "Did they deserve it?" "Most did. 1 or 2. I'm not so sure." "So you know." "That feeling. Afterwards." He didn't answer. She leaned in. "You don't want to believe me, fine, but if you leave me now, I'm dead. You know that, right?" Myles looked past her, out the window, into the dark. "I ain't leaving yet, but I need the truth. Next stop, you give me everything. Names, places, details." She nodded. "Deal." He stood. "We're gone at dawn. Sleep while—" "You can." She watched him go. And this time, her eyes were calm, not scared. Something else. Control. And that worried him more than anything. The rain hit the windshield like static, fast, sharp, relentless. Myles hated driving through Tennessee at night. The roads curved like broken promises. "You ever sleep?" Lacey asked. "When I need to." "You look like you need to." He didn't respond. She shifted in her seat. "You know, I've been thinking, maybe we should ditch the truck, take a bus or something. Too easy to track." Myles gave her a sidelong look. "You running a cartel now?" "No, I just don't want to get caught. That's all." "You picked the wrong ride for that." She smirked, but her eyes were twitchy, scanning every highway sign. "You ever think about just disappearing? Like, completely?" "I already did," he said. 6 years ago." "What happened 6 years ago?" He downshifted to take a hill. "My unit got caught in a market ambush. I survived. They didn't. I came back. A ghost." She went quiet. Then, "I came back from my mother's funeral. That's when he locked me up." Myles drummed his fingers on the wheel. "You ready to talk yet? Real names, real details." She hesitated. "You gonna turn me in?" "Not if the truth holds. But I need it all. Now." She exhaled slowly. "His name was Michael Trent, Baton Rouge PD. My stepfather. My mom married him after my dad OD'd. Go on. He was different after she died, creepy, controlling. He made me quit school. Took my phone. Said it was to protect me." Myles nodded. "And the gun?" "I knew where he kept it. I waited till he passed out drunk. He said something that night, something I can't repeat. I snapped." Myles pulled into an abandoned way station. Rain still pounding. Wipers squealed across glass. "And you shot him in his sleep," she flinched. "No. He woke up, tried to stop me. It went off." "Once?" She didn't answer. "Lacey." "3 times. Chest, neck, head. Myles stared out into the rain. That's not panic. That's intent. He would have killed me. You don't get it. Maybe not. But cops don't care about motive when it's one of their own. Suddenly her voice hardened. You don't believe me. I believe you're hiding something. That's not the same. She folded her arms, chin high. Why are you still helping me then? Because something about you reminds me of someone I left behind, and maybe I'm tired of leaving people behind. She looked at him, eyes wide. Real emotion flickered. Then, headlights, a black SUV creeping up the off-ramp, government plates. Myles shut off the lights. Engine dead. Don't move, he hissed. The SUV stopped, sat idle, then, slowly, backed down the ramp and disappeared into the storm. They waited 5 minutes before speaking. You think that was for us? She whispered. Don't know, don't care. We're moving. Now. Back on the road, Myles kept the lights low. His jaw clenched. We need a burner phone, he muttered. Gas, food, and fake plates. You know how to do that? I used to know someone in Little Rock. She leaned back, arms crossed. So now I'm just baggage you're dragging to an old war buddy? Call it insurance. A pause. Then softer. You think I'm lying about all of it? He looked at her, long and cold. I think you've lied about enough that I don't know where the truth starts. Silence. Finally she whispered, Then why didn't you leave me back at the bar? He didn't answer. Not because he didn't know, but because he did. They crossed into Arkansas just after midnight. The highway was empty except for them and the endless whisper of tires on wet asphalt. So this guy in Little Rock, Lacey said, breaking the silence. He one of yours? We served together, Myles replied. He got out before I did, runs a garage, now. He fix cars or fix papers? Both. She laughed nervously. You know a lot of criminals for someone who pretends to care about right and wrong. Right and wrong are a lot murkier, once you've been in the sand long enough. She didn't respond. 2 a.m. They were circling a dark warehouse behind a shuttered auto shop. Myles killed the engine. Got out. Wait here. You serious? Alone? You step foot in there with me, and this ends badly. Stay. He disappeared through the side door. Lacey waited, fingers twitching over the glove box. 10 minutes. 15. Then she heard it. A thump. Loud. Close. She opened the door and slid out into the dark. A second thump. She rounded the building, found a metal door slightly ajar. Inside, voices, heated. Myles. You owe me, Ray. Another voice. You show up with cops on. Your tail and a girl that's on every damn screen from here to Chicago. How's that fair trade? I didn't ask for favors. I asked for help. Silence. Then, who is she, Myles? Really? Lacey stepped into the light. Ask me yourself. Myles spun around. Damn it, Lacey. I told you to… No. You talk about me like I'm cargo. I'm here. I can speak. Ray, mid-40s, face like worn leather, studied her. You got nerve. I got nothing left to lose. Ray sighed. Fine. You want plates? A phone? It'll cost you. And I want the truth. All of it. Myles shook his head. She doesn't owe you that. She does if she wants to walk out of here. Lacey stepped forward. Her voice didn't shake. I killed a cop, but he wasn't innocent. He raped me. Kept me locked in a basement. He was my stepdad. His badge gave him a shield. I took it away. Ray looked at her. Then at Myles. You believe her? I don't know, Myles admitted. But I believe she believes it. Ray nodded slowly. I can give you 24 hours. After that, your ghosts are your own. They left the garage with a new burner phone, fresh plates, and a warning. Stay off the main roads. They're looking. Back on the road, Lacey lit a cigarette with shaking fingers. You still think I'm full of shit? Myles kept his eyes forward. I think pain does strange things to people. So does war. They drove in silence. At a gas station outside Pine Bluff, Lacey went in for snacks. Myles waited. Watched. When she returned, he was on the phone. "Who were you calling?" He hesitated. "An old contact, checking the APB lists." She frowned. "You sure that's all?" He didn't answer. She looked at him differently after that. Suspicion. He drove until dawn. "We'll sleep at a motel off 67, he said. "We're ghosts till nightfall." She didn't argue. Inside. "The room?" Lacey collapsed onto the bed. Myles sat in a chair, pistol in hand, staring out the window. "You don't sleep much, do you?" she asked. "I don't dream well." She turned toward him. "Do you ever wish you died over there?" He didn't. "Look away from the window. Every damn day." She stared at the ceiling. "Me too." Outside, the world kept spinning. But inside that room, two broken people pretended for a few hours. They weren't fugitives, just ghosts, hiding from the daylight, until the knock on the door. 3 times. Slow. Precise. Then silence. Myles stood. Gun ready. Lacey sat up, eyes wide. "Get in the bathroom," he whispered. She didn't move. Now, another knock, louder. "Myles, open up. It's Ray." Myles froze. Then, "Why would Ray be here?" He opened the door a crack. Ray stood there, alone, pale, sweating. "You've got a problem," he said. "Big one. Your face just hit CNN." Myles felt the floor drop beneath him. "They're not after her anymore," Ray added. "They're after both of you, together." The twist had begun, and the storm was close.